Hi everyone, my name is Maria and I am the Green Stitcher here on Flosstube and over on Instagram. Welcome back if you are a returning viewer and welcome if you're new. Today I wanted to share with you my stitchy update for September. I was hoping to come back to you all with another stitchy update in the middle of the month, but unfortunately that didn't happen, so I'm doing an overall September update. To be fair, I haven't stitched much in September. I mean, I did stitch, but not as much as I normally do in a month. So what I'm going to be talking about today is I want to give a shout out to a new to me Flosstuber that I watched actually in August and forgot to mention her. And I've been watching more of her in September. I want to mention a couple of lovely stitchers who mentioned me in September. Announce the results of the giveaway that I launched in the middle of August. And then we'll talk, FFOs, finishes, whips, starts, all the stuff, haul, life update, plans for the next, month, whatever, foreseeable future. So that's going to be the plan. As always, I'm going to leave timestamps so you can skip around if you'd like that. And if you have any questions or need to ask me about a specific fabric or technique of dyeing or a specific color conversion I did for myself, you are always welcome to comment down below. Message me on Instagram or email me at mariathegreenstitcher@gmail.com. So yeah, you might notice, I'm hoping you'll notice that I have a bit better lighting today. That's going to be part of my haul, but I'll get to it a bit later. So today is October 2nd, Wednesday. I've got just a bit over an hour before I have to start work, and I'm working from home today. So I thought I'll get up early, get ready. I filmed the update before I sort of dive into my October stitching in real life, and then have the whole mix of October stitches with September ones, and come here and share my progress for September so I can, like I said, move on and do my October stitching. So first and foremost, like I said, I wanted to give a shout out to Tara at Wilder Woman Crafts. I've heard her mentioned on a few channels before, and I only had a chance to check her out. I think it was late August, sometime September. I loved watching her videos. She is a lot of fun, very she sparks joy in me, if that makes sense. She has very lovely personality. I love looking at her whips, and she stitches on a variety of things. Love her dinosaur sampler from Al Forest Embroidery, obviously. I am a big fan of Al Forest. And she sews some of her own bags, she stitches, she has the most fantastic wall of FFO'd birds by, I think it's Linda Stitches from the Bird Watcher Club that was on a couple years ago. So if you haven't heard of her before, or if you haven't checked her out, I'll leave the tag in the description below, so go check her out. She has wonderful videos and I'm sure you'll enjoy watching her. And then two lovely stitchers mentioned me in September. Anna from the Viking Stitches, as always, lovely to watch her. She doesn't film much, unfortunately, but she has said she's found a new setup at home where she's hoping to show us more, which I would love to see. She stitches again on a variety of things, a Brooks box, a few PDF designer patterns. She's stitching on a Make It Pink design as well, the one from Zelda. So yeah, love her videos, and she gave me a very lovely, sweet shout out. And also Elizabeth from Elizabeth Savory mentioned me as well. I love her videos, have been watching her for the last few months. I think I found her sometime in spring and binged everything that was out at that point, and I love her videos and I can't wait to watch every single one. She said she watched my video about my Christmas ornaments, which are mostly male hill on my channel. So she got inspired and enabled to try and stitch some as well. So I hope you enjoy your male hills, Elizabeth, and it is infectious. I should have warned people that when I showed those in my video that's infectious. You will get one done, especially the little ones, and then you just won't be able to stop. So it's early morning, it's very gloomy, but like I'm saying, hopefully with the new lights you can see things a bit better. I'm having a giant half-a-liter cup of coffee, double coffee today. That's just the kind of day we're going to have today. Sometimes you wake up and you know it's a double coffee kind of day. It's a Harry Potter mug from the Harry Potter studio in Watford. We went to, I think 5 years ago now, from the era when I was obsessed with Harry Potter, which I no longer am, but the mug is great because it's like 3D and it fits a lot of coffee, which is the most important thing in this case. Yes, so next on the agenda is I wanted to announce the giveaway winners. Like I said in my latest Stitchy update, which I think was end of August, I was going to extend it and let more people join in case they haven't found my video by then. So it closed on Monday night, 30th of September, and I drew the winners last night on the 1st of October. I will be inserting somewhere here, one of the sides, I'll be inserting the comment of the person who won, and so the Dimensions, a booklet with this lovely spring planting design, will go to planting Tammy Spruce 9212. Thank you for the lovely comment, Tammy, and for entering the giveaway. I hope you'll enjoy this. Please message me on Instagram ideally. If you don't have Instagram, then email me at mariathegreenstitcher@gmail.com. I'll leave the email address in the description to the video as well, just in case. So hope you'll enjoy stitching on this. And then the other winner of the what's it called, Garden Quickies by, again, it's a Dimensions booklet. This one is designed by Barbara Mock, goes to Carolina Maslanka 1523. Again, thank you for the lovely comment and entering the giveaway, Carolina. I hope you'll enjoy stitching this. Again, can you please get in touch with me on Instagram? If not, then on the mariathegreenstitcher@gmail.com email address. And I will post these to you as soon as I can. Post is not too bad here where I live in UK, so we actually have an option to arrange like a free collection from home, so it works perfect for the days when I'm working from home. So yeah, those are the giveaway winners. I hope you both enjoy your stitches when you get them, and I'm hoping to do another giveaway when we hit 1500 subscribers, or maybe earlier, we'll see, maybe on my birthday, whichever comes first probably. Yeah, I think that's it for the admin part of the video. Let's get to the stitching. Like I said, I didn't stitch much in September. Lots of reasons. My mental health wasn't that great. The weather hasn't been great. The flood alerts all over UK have been making me anxious at best. And yeah, a lot going on behind the scenes. So yeah, most of the time this month when I had the time to rest, I took the time to rest. I have been gaming a lot again and cannot stop playing Baldur's Gate, which I'll talk about closer to the end in the life update. But basically I only got 9,300 stitches this month, which is the lowest this year for me. I think the highest number I've stitched was, looking at the numbers on my spreadsheet, was like 13,500 in March, and then, like I said, September was the lowest at 9,300, which is fine. It is what it is, and then I'm hoping October will be better and I'll have more time or more motivation more than anything to stitch on things. Yeah, I still managed to stitch on the things that I love, make really good progress on a few whips. I have, I'll probably, let me talk to you about this here. So the idea for September for me was, by the end of August, I was growing more and more weary of all of the whips I have, which I don't have that many compared to some other stitchers, but for me, I think I had about 17 or 18 at the end of August, and that was too many for me, especially taking into account that some of them are 4-3 years old and haven't been touched in a while, and they're off scroll frames because I don't have enough scroll frames, and I don't want to buy any more, so I don't encourage my bad habits of starting too many things and then just leaving them be. Like I said, I'm a combination of a project and process stitcher, which means I do want my things on the walls or, FFO'd somehow differently, but I also really care about the way I feel in the process of stitching. And Moira is saying hi from behind the door. She will not let you be if you've closed the door. So having looked at my whips at the end of August, I've decided that I have a real chance to finish a few things in a couple of months before my birthday in November, because I'm planning to have at least a couple, I haven't decided yet, starts in November. One for my actual birthday, which I'll probably talk about this today as well, actually, to give you enough time if you want to join me. One for Nora November, and maybe some more. I haven't decided yet. So feeling guilty having all the whips, not having made progress on some of them, having too many, I've decided to finish a few things and focus solely on the few things that I could finish. I made myself a list. I went through my spreadsheet on Excel and picked out the designs that had less than 5,000 stitches left to their finish, which I think I had about, let me have a look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No. I had 4? I think I had 4. I might be mistaken. I think I had 4, and it's tricky for me. So I do want to finish things, and I do want to make progress in terms of whipping down. At the same time, I find that every time I make myself plans, however like loose or rigid they are, I get demotivated to stitch. So that might be another reason why I was stitching a bit less in September. So keep that in mind, trying to finish a few things. So you will see what you're seeing today, probably same next month, but with more progress, hopefully. And I'm going to start with things as they were chronologically started at some point. Right, so first and foremost, my oldest whip, it's got all of the threads in the front. It is, there we go. The Japanese Garden by Dimensions. It's a kit that my sister gifted me a few years ago. Have been stitching it for 4.5 years, and it needs to be finished this year. That's it. So when I picked it up in September, I had about 5,000 stitches left, and I was really hoping to make a progress of 2,500 and leave 2.5 for October, so that I have this nice chunk of finishes at the end of October, and I feel less guilty about starting things in November. However, when I got to it, I've told you before, I'm in the part of the design that is the hardest for me to stitch because it's super slow and a lot of confetti. And so I've been working on the right top corner here, and I have only made progress of 1,300 stitches. I tried my best. I made progress. That's already a win, but I can see that 2,500 a month is not realistic for me at the moment with this project. I've decided to split it in quarters instead, so do sort of about 1,250 to 1,300 stitches every month until the end of the year, and then hopefully have it finished by the end of the year. You will hopefully see some progress. I think I'm trying to color complete, and I've done a couple of pinks and purples here, and so hopefully you can see some progress. It's a bit silly that I only have like less than 4,000 left and I can't just sit myself down and finish it, but I promise you I tried. This one is just a beast. It's a big project. There's a lot of confetti. I am not really enjoying stitching like background and things that you can't tell what they are necessarily. They don't have specific, you know, edges and shapes. It's a tree. It's like leaves on the tree. So yeah, this one is going slow, but like I said, hopefully I'll master the strength to finish it by the end of the year. Then the second project that I made actually really good progress on, where's the cover, is my biggest one ever, and it is the design with Ciri from the Witcher universe. She is one of the main characters. She is the artwork is by Hannah Alexander. She's charted by Make It Pink, Ashley May, and she has 3 different options. I'm stitching the biggest one with the frame and the background and the roses. Started her in May this year for my Mania, for the first Mania start, and I have been stitching. I've been trying to stitch at least 1,000 a month, but hopefully 2,000 a month, which I'm almost at 2,000 for September. I did a very big chunk of work on it at the very beginning of September, trying to cover the stitches for August. I've done that, and I've stitched sort of more into the September progress that I was planning to make. And then at the end of the month, I picked it up again and hope to basically get to combined 4,000 stitches for August and September. And I'm almost there. I need another day or two, which I will do after I film this video and probably this week. But I wanted to show you what I've done so far. So there she is, and she is stunning. I absolutely love her. So pure September stitching here is 3,000 stitches. But like I said, I'm trying sort of to cover, you know, every month. And I am stitching her on 32 count Witchet linen that was sandstone, and I overdyed with liquid taupe red dye. And I'm using everything called for except for the triple back stitch, which I'm using sewing threads for. If you want to know more, either ask me or check out my video about her from Mania. And I'm also stitching the Kreinik cross stitches with 1 strand instead of 2, and it's number 4. So there she is. I have finished this section this month with the background and the leaves, and I've started stitching on the rose as well. And then I'm hoping to probably finish the rose and do the back stitch around it for those like extra. I think I'm only missing about 500 stitches from my planned September progress. So I was stitching on other things besides the things that I'm trying to finish, but because Ciri is such a love project, she is stunning. She makes me so happy whenever I pick her up and stitch on her, so I never want to put her aside. I think I've reached 15% on her, which is amazing because she is a big one. Like I said, biggest one I have, and I think she's going to be about 75,000 stitches when she's done, which I'm hoping is going to be in the next couple of years, not in 10. And then I took out one of the projects that has been put aside because I wanted to make it my soon to be finished. So as part of Mania, I started my second shepherd's bush stocking. This one is going to be stitched for my husband, and it's Brett's stocking. And I am doing something different with these if you haven't seen these on my channel before. And it lives in the bag that I've made. I'm a bit all over the place today. I'm forgetting to tell you the fabrics, so I'm not showing you the bags and things. Well, Ciri doesn't have a bag, so I was really glad to pick it up because I really missed it. I wanted to stitch on it really, and so when I've made up this plan of finishing a few things by the end of October, I was really happy to pick this one back up again. I had to use my old clip-on frames that I am not a big fan of anymore, but I ran out of my sew-on frame, so here we go. So here's the progress I've made on Brett's stocking in September. I think all you've seen in May was probably bottom border with the flowers and the fish, some of the ship, some of the hill, maybe a little bit of the trees, I'm not sure. But September was very fruitful. I enjoyed stitching on this a lot, and so I finished the ship. I've done the border. I'm sure I've finished something here as well. The whole sort of bottom section of the one of the majors is done again September. The flower, the strawberry, the heart, and how much is that? That is almost 2,000 stitches here, 1,900. So what I'm doing differently with these is instead of stitching as called for on 18 count linen over 2 with cotton pearl number 5 by DMC and Weeksley Works, I use the embroidery weight of all of those called for colors, and I'm stitching on 28 count natural casual linen 2 over 2. Yeah, 2 over 2. There we go. And it's still turning out very vibrant, very, very bright and colorful, and I'm enjoying the process of it so much. This way the stockings will be about A4 size when they're finished, and I really love that. So I'm stretching it quite tightly, so you will see probably some lines in between, but yeah, that's because of the scroll frames. So loved working on this one, didn't want to put it aside, and like I said, this is a plan to finish in October. Next one was a bit of a fail. So another Mania start, my first ever Witchy Stitcher, and it's Leshy. Love this design, love the frame that is sort of imitating trees in the woods, and then the moon as well. I love it. It's beautiful, and it lives in this ferns bag that I got from someone on Etsy, and then so that was one of the projects that I was hoping to make good progress on and finish at the end of October as well. Would be perfect, wouldn't it? Because it's a bit of a spooky one, but it wasn't meant to be. So I've picked it up. I've worked on it for a day and I put it aside. I just wasn't feeling it. I made like 370 something stitches and decided to call it a day. So I think I finished some of the frame. I've done some in the staff, some in the leshy, bird, probably the mushrooms as well, and the frame and the sides. And yeah, like I said, I decided to call it a day. So it's a 32 count Picture This Plus linen in color conifer. And I'm hoping you're seeing the right shade of green on it. It's this lovely, like murky, dark, swampy green, I would call it. And yeah, I've decided after those 370 something stitches to put it aside. If I'm not feeling like it, why bother, especially because it's a recent start. So for now, I will not be stitching on it until November at least, and then we'll see how it goes and how I feel, and if I still want to make my progress or maybe put it aside for a bit. Next is my Halloween sampler by Shepherd's Bush, and it's called Garden Spells. That is what it's going to look like, and it's a Shepherd's Bush kit. It lives in the funky cat and pumpkin bag that I made specifically for it and just for any Halloween designs. And I am stitching it with everything from the kit, called for silks and fabric, and it is another contender to be finished in October. Wouldn't it be perfect to be done with it by Halloween? So I had really good progress on it. Again, loved working on it, and here's where I am on it today. I have scrolled it to the top, as you can see, because I finished most of the bottom section except for the leaves on the frame on the border, but I'll come back to that in a bit. So I'm doing a funny circle with it. I think I started in the middle at the bottom, done this little element, the flower, then I went to the sheep and the witch, and then in September I worked on finishing the border, as in just the main darker green color, and it did match, which was great. Always a bit nerve-wracking when you're stitching the border from two different directions. And then I've completely stitched this little element with the, I feel like they're like little shelves with pumpkins and plants. I've done the key. I think I've done quite a lot of the leaves on the border. The bones, I think the spider is new as well. And then what was really exciting and interesting, I've stitched my first ever over 1 stitches. So this is 32 count linen. It feels like Belfast, and it's called Nightshade, Deadly Nightshade, and I don't know who the dyer is. My first ever over 1 on 32 count. I'm stitching this with 1 strand of silk, same as the rest of the design, 1/1 full cross, which is what the instructions say. And I quite liked it. I really enjoyed working on it. The letters are so tiny and cute, and I just loved it. And so I made the progress of 1600 stitches on it. I think I have about the same left till I'm done. There's going to be a whole little sort of band sampler here made up of specialty stitches and a lot of over 1 words, and I think I'm missing something here as well. I'll have to have a look at the picture, I don't remember. So one of the things that happened in September is I've been feeling a bit funny with my eyes for a couple months now. Let me have a sip of coffee. Long story short, I did wear glasses when I was a kid, and then I didn't for a very long time. But then, I'll actually show you. Like I said, for the last few months, I've been feeling a bit more sort of tired with my eyes. They would get strained quite easily, especially if I was stitching in the evening. So I kind of went on a mission in September to get that sorted, and I've done 2 things. So first and foremost, I went and got myself prescription glasses, which is nothing bad. I'm only joking. I actually quite enjoy them, and I think they look all right. And so they have a very gentle prescription for now, but thanks to them as well, I've been able to stitch that over 1. So they give me, you know, a very like crisp, sharp image, and I can do this very delicate work. I just wanted to take care of my eyes and make sure that they don't, you know, get too tired too quickly in life. And yeah, so I've been stitching more closer to the end of the month because I got my glasses, which was great. I don't have to wear them all the time. Like I said, it's mostly for the things that I have to really concentrate on. So if I'm reading, if I'm a lot on my computer at work or at home, I can still see things, but I'm straining my eyes to look at things for like a few hours straight. With glasses, it makes things much easier, and I've been really enjoying using them. And then the second thing, and I'll insert the picture for you probably now, is I've been thinking of getting really good like professional lighting for my stitching setup, mostly not for filming, but I'm thinking it's gonna help me film as well. Yeah, my setup needed a good light. I was using like a little sort of desk LED lamp, which is great, but it's great for smaller projects, a bit more sort of contained space wise, and I'm going to be using it when I'm traveling with my stitching. But for everyday setup, especially working on some of these bigger projects like Siri, I don't remember exactly, but I think the frame is like almost 70 centimeters wide, maybe even more. So you need, you know, quite a wide space on your desk, and I stitch at my desk most of the time, covered with good light. So again, you don't strain your eyes, and you know, you take care of them and see everything without straining them. So I've only been using it for a few days now. Absolutely love it. I've done some of the research. I was trying to do to find something that is not sort of too cheap but not too expensive. These professional sort of hobby lights can get very expensive, and I was looking at sort of reviews both from stitchers and just from people doing other sorts of crafts. I am familiar with the Daylight company who made this and designed it, I believe. I've had lamps from them before, but they were much smaller, like I said, like more spotlights for smaller crafts, and I've loved it, and I'm really happy with this purchase. So yeah, I'll let you know if anything changes with that, but it's been great. It's been giving me enough light, it's not too bright. You can like really nicely position it above the stitching so you can still see, because when I'm stitching and watching Flosstube most of the time, you can see your screen, you can see your stitching. There's I think two settings, the brighter one and the dimmer one. You can't change the temperature of the lights, but that's sort of the point. So you have this light approximated to daylight. So both of those have been great, and like I said, both have allowed me to stitch more closer to the end of the month, and definitely stitch on over one on the Shepherd's Bush Halloween sampler. The last WIP I worked on in September is my vintage Mill Hill called B Square. The design is from 1997, but they reissued a number of them, and I bought it on an English website a few years ago. I don't think they're available anymore, and I'm not sure where you can buy them anymore, I'm afraid. But if you know the old sort of vintage Mill Hill, you can tell by the picture it's one of those. It's got a lot of specialty stitches, a lot of different colors of beads, 2 buttons, not even one, and they're the old ones from whoever they used, you know, to do the handmade ones. So really love this. I started it on in June for my friend's birthday, because she loves everything about bees and bumblebees, and I have been stitching it ever since. And let me show you where I am today. So I'm stitching it on the kit with all the kit materials. Basically, I haven't swapped anything out, I don't think. There's my bag. I've just got a bit of a mess with this project because I'm so close to having it finished. So here we are. There's my progress for September. I had a really good time again stitching on this. Didn't want to put it aside. If you remember at the end of August, I think I said if I stitch something like 100 and something stitches a week, I'll be able to finish it by the end of the year. I said that, and then I set myself down, started a little, got really excited about it, and couldn't put it down until I've done 1,000. So again, there was 2,000 left at the beginning of September, and now I'm 1,000 closer to a finish. So I'm hopefully going to show you this in my finishes in October and even FFOs. I have a perfect frame for it, designed and made by Mill Hill. I bought it for a different design, but I think it's going to be perfect for this as well. And they will be interchangeable because they're from different seasons. So what I worked in September, I think, is I've done a lot of the beading on this side. I think I did the border at the top completely. I worked a lot on the hives, did a lot of cross stitches, and started doing some of the darker green in the vines that will be there when I'm done. did the base for the bees, and they need black backstitch and beads here. So yeah, I love how it's turning out. I can't wait to finish it and have it, like I said, FFO'd. So I think that was it. I've worked on 6 projects, like I said, about 9,300 stitches, and I'm hoping to work on more in October. You might be wondering, where is my spooky Friday the 13th start? I'll tell you where. I'll tell you where. Oh goodness. So, if you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen my attempt to participate in the Friday the 13th sort of spooky stitching. So, I was hoping to either stitch on a Halloween project that day or have a spooky start. The idea was to either stitch on the Halloween sampler by Shepherd's Bush that was already a whip, or start a long loved and gorgeous design by the Cricut collection. I've had it in my stash for literal years. I've loved it ever since I saw it. I feel like more than 10 years ago now, and I just needed to stitch it so much. And so I was asking you guys on Instagram if you thought I should be stitching on the whip or doing a new start. Most of you are awful and bad influence, and you told me to do a new start, which is is absolutely fine, obviously. But I had almost no time to stitch on anything that day. I was working that day, and then I had a work social thing after work. And by the time I got home, I think it was 10 p.m. if not maybe 9. It was late, right? It was late. I should probably make myself a rule, stitch it, put it on the wall, and look at it every time I decide to stitch something out of nowhere, start something out of nowhere, basically in the middle of the night when I have nothing prepped for it. So the design calls for, I think it's an R&R linen of some sort. Yeah, flex fields, or you can take a sandstone witch out, they're saying, which is something I had in stash. I think again, me being in a rush and trying to start it in the last couple of hours of the day, I didn't do myself any favors, and it is a failed start. So here's my progress for now. As you can see, there's nothing there. So I've got a piece of the sandstone witch out from my stash. I serged it, yes, in the middle of the night. I hope my neighbors don't hate me. I didn't iron it, which is going to be important in this story, which I always do. I always wash my fabric and iron it before I start. And by wash, I mean I just stick it in warm water in the sink with like a pump of hand wash or dish soap. I didn't iron it because I was hurrying to make that start. And so what happened was the next day, and I've stitched about 100 or 200 stitches. The next day I happily went on stitching on it, but the lines, the creases from from how it was folded in the packaging were bugging me. So I decided to take it off the frame, and I was using one of my clip-in frames as well because I ran out of the sew-on ones. I've decided to take it out and iron it, and you might actually see it. You should see it quite clearly. So what happened was, in July, I was hand dyeing some fabrics with red dyes, and I was in a rush to put one of them in a parcel that I sent to a friend. And I think I wasn't thorough enough in washing out the leftover dye that was sitting in the fabric. And when I was ironing some of those fabrics on my ironing board, one of them left a big sort of stain of like a grayish blue color, which I thought was nothing, and I thought I would just, it's dye. It's gonna stay in the cotton fabric that's the top of the ironing board. But when I went to iron this piece, you will see, yeah. When I went to iron this piece on top of that spot on the ironing board, and it's totally my fault, obviously. As you can see, it dyed my fabric this sort of bluish gray in some parts. And most importantly, it dyed the colors that were here, which were very light, like 642, 644. Colored the flosses, colored some of the fabric around them, some of the fabric here. And as you can see, the design is very, you know, it's not full coverage. There's a lot of air, a lot of space, and you would definitely be able to see all of this. And so, and you can probably see even more on the back. Yeah, you can see the stitches I've picked out. So I was agonizing for a couple of days over it and wasn't sure what to do, and decided to frog everything and re-dye this piece of fabric with a bit of the taupe red dye that gives it more of like a parchmenty kind of feel. I haven't had a chance to do it yet, and I haven't restarted it yet. So I'm also not sure I want to do it in Witchelt for some reason this time, though it is the perfect color and now it's the perfect size and margin, and it's even serged. It might get softer if I get it boiled or while I'm dyeing it. I'm not 100% sure. For some reason, Witchelt is not feeling like the right fabric for this design. I don't know why. I love Witchelt. I stitch a lot of things on it. So yeah, all of those factors kind of added to having a failed start. So it's kind of on my list as a 1309 start. But what my current plan with this is, so slowly moving into plans for October. So what I'm hoping to do in October is go on working on Siri, go on working on the Japanese garden, and then I'm hoping to have Brett's Stocking, Garden Spells, both by Shepherd's Bush, and B Square by, I think I have another one. No, that's it, those three. And B Square by Male Hill. I'm hoping to have those three finished by the end of October and having -3 whips basically. I was also hoping to work on 12 Days of Christmas in September. I unfortunately had no time for that, so I might come back to it in October. I'm in no rush, to be honest, and I wanted to finish these 3 designs first, and then I feel like I can move on to the next couple. I feel like this might be a very sort of good working plan for me. Get a few designs that I'm going to concentrate on and finish in a couple of months, then have a bit of other designs that I'm stitching monthly in there, or have small starts like little Mill Hills that are under 1,000 that I can stitch in a couple of days, and then also swap around every couple months those sort of main whips that I'm going to be working on to finish them and whip down ultimately. I'm hoping to get to maybe, I want to say 7-8 whips. I'm not sure how realistic it is or how long it would take me to do that, but I'm going to try and we'll see how it goes. And then the other plan is, if I do finish those 3, then I can, I will have the time in October to think this through, to decide on my fabric, to decide if I want to hand dye it or not, and then start it on October 31st as my spooky Halloween start. So yeah, it happens. What can you do, right? I need to change my ironing board cover now. Good lesson. Don't iron your fresh stitching over the stains from your hand-dyed fabrics. So yeah, that's what happened stitching wise in September. I had no FFOs, no finishes, a start, call it whatever you want. I did no other crafts and my haul was tiny, so I bought the lamp like I showed you, and I got a stack of lovely vintage magazines from a lovely lady on Facebook Marketplace, someone local to me. So they are all Cross Stitch and Country Crafts, and I've got, what year is this? November, December 86, with the nutcrackers. I was actually obsessed with nutcrackers when I was a kid. Then we've got January, February 88. I feel like I've seen this design somewhere recently or something very similar. And then I'll show you the best last. January, February 93 with the geese, the classic 90s geese. And then we have the November, December 1992 with the angel. There's more than just the cover designs on here, but the cover designs are probably best from each issue. Next one is a lovely Noah's Ark. It's January, February 87. Not my theme, but lovely design. And then I've got January, February 86 with a gorgeous white and blue, I think it's a Dutch sampler. And then my favorite, and the one I'm actually hoping to stitch someday, an absolutely gorgeous Santa from November, December 87. Look at this. Can you believe it's been however long? 35 years? 37? And somebody designed this 37 years ago. How gorgeous is that? I love that it's got this, I'm not sure if it's an oval or round frame. I just love the Santa. I'm not a big fan of Santas in general, but this one somehow is just, I'm trying to find a better picture for you inside. The magazines are very old, as you can see, but they are in great condition. The paper is sort of, you know, it's gotten yellow from time, but the patterns are all unmarked. They all have symbols in them, not just colors. So no, I don't have a better picture, but yeah, I'm hoping to stitch this. I might do a giveaway for these at some point if you're interested. If you were looking for any of these designs specifically, give me a shout. So yeah, tiny haul. Like I said, I got quite a lot of things in summer, both on my stitchy trip to Wales and also after that. So I feel good about sort of taking it slow and not buying as much in September. Oh, actually, I forgot to mention, I got a gift, a very unexpected one from my husband, because he normally doesn't gift me stitchy things because he knows I'm quite picky and I have my list of things I own and I'm planning to stitch and buy. But he saw this in a grocery store and decided to get it for me, and that was the recent issue of the World of Cross Stitching that is going to be Christmas themed. But the best part about it, besides, I mean, I love the, you know how much I love the Three Kings designs. Just a second. I don't think I'm allowed to stitch any more of them because I have too many already. But look at this. That is gorgeous. The colors, I think it uses beads. It does, yes. Yeah, but the best part for me was the 2025 calendar with Emma Congdon's designs in it. So you get, it's a separate sort of, it's an addition to the magazine. You get the whole yearly planner with the months. You get 2 months on each sort of spread. Yep. And you get a lovely design, a sort of stitched up version of it decorating a calendar, but also the pattern to it at the end of the calendar as well. And I think my favorite, one second. My favorite one has to be this, Kindness is Magic. I don't love the colors. I am not a big fan of this sort of this brown shade basically. I think I might do my own color conversion if and when I stitch this, but yeah, I think it looks great. And I love her designs because of the lettering and the phrases. They are inspiring and uplifting and very lovely to look at and stitch as well. So, and then another thing I wanted to say is I'm hoping to have you join my first ever stitch along, or rather start along. So I have a birthday in November and I would like to start a this design. I'll just insert a picture here. I would like to start the Woodland Spirit, I'm not sure what the proper name of it is, by Owl Forest Embroidery. I have the floss pack from them. I have the electronic pattern from them. I have hand-dyed fabric for it. And so I was hoping to start it on my birthday. I am off that week and I'm going to be enjoying stitching, relaxing, not being at work, and also going to a stitchy thing in Nottingham, which I'll talk to you about at the end of the month of November. And so I would like to invite you all to join my start along, which will be for anything on green fabric with green floss, mostly forest themed or owl themed or owl forest themed. So any of these or all of these or a combination of these is the designs that you can stitch on or start if you'd like to join me for my birthday stitch along. And the hashtag for this on Instagram will be #thegreenstitcher BDay SAL. And my birthday is on the 11th of November, so you are welcome to start on that day or any day in November or ahead of time, whichever you'd like. I've heard from other people, I haven't dealt with this before, that hashtags can be funny, and even if I go and search by hashtag, I might not see all the posts. So if you'd like to share your progress with me or you start with me, and for me to go over your page and like it and leave you a comment, then at me on the post as well, or in your stories, wherever you're posting it on Instagram. And so I'm saying this now because I know people watch Flosstube with a delay. I myself am the same. I'm probably about 2-3 weeks behind usually, and I want to give you enough time to sort of decide if you want to join in. If you do, then what sort of theme or what sort of design you want to join. So like I said, again, on green fabric with mostly green floss, or these are all and or whichever you decide, or owl themed or forest themed or owl forest themed. And I feel like my design sort of matches them all and is the the epitome of everything I love in cross stitch and everything that my channel is about. So I hope you'll join me. I would love to hear what designs you're planning to start in the comments below if you've already decided, and I will see your progress and your start on Instagram. And then the last bit of the video is going to be my life update. So like I said, September has been a bit yeah, it's like I said, it's been raining a lot in UK. We've been having flood alerts. Yeah, and to the good things, I've got, like I said, I got my glasses, which helps me stitch, which is great, and reduces my strain when I'm working on my computer at work all day. I got my stitchy light, which again, I'm hoping it's also illuminating the shot and you can see myself in the stitching better for the videos as well. I am reading a bit more and have finished actually a couple books that we finally took out of storage. My tattoo, I'll just give you a quick glimpse, is actually almost healed, feeling great, and I just need to go back to finish some of the shading on the mandala here at the top. Yeah, so otherwise, it's been good. I have been gaming a lot, like I said. My second passion besides crafts in life is video games. So Baldur's Gate 3 is still very much on my radar, and have been spending a lot of time playing it in my free time, interfering with stitching, I guess. So yeah. That was my September in stitches and otherwise. I hope you enjoyed this video and you found it entertaining. If you have any questions, like I said, feel free to comment below, message me on Instagram, or email me at mariathegreenstitcher@gmail.com. I will be back with a book flip through video, hopefully in the middle of this month. So what I have decided to do is I have quite a few cross stitch books, a lot of which are very popular and easy to get, and I feel like almost everyone has them or has seen flip throughs of them. And I feel like I have a few that are not as popular or not as readily available, or I haven't seen flip throughs of those on the Flosstube, in the Flosstube community. So I'm hoping to do a flip through of some of mine, which I think are a bit more, like I said, rare or not as easily available. And so I'm hoping that I'll post this video in the middle of the month. I have done some of it, but not all of it yet, so I still need to finish it up. So that is it for my video, just under an hour, which is great, so I can go to work soon. I hope you enjoyed it, like I said, and you will have a wonderful stitchy October, and you're stitching on lovely spooky things. I have started a tiny little sneaky Mill Hill start last night, just so I don't, like I said, mix in my October and September stitches in the video, and I'm hoping to have those 3 finishes for you by the end of the month. I will most likely come back with the stitchy update only at the end of October, but you should see the video with the books flip through in the middle of the month. So hope you have a wonderful stitchy October. Hope you are safe and your family is safe and you're well wherever you are in the world. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for spending your stitchy time with me. It's lovely to be a part of this community, to be getting comments and sort of mentioning each other in each other's videos and chatting with you guys on Instagram. So I love being here, and I'm glad that it's a lovely little space of the internet where we can be ourselves and absolutely nerd out on cross stitch. So thank you very much. Have a wonderful time, and I'll see you later. Bye.